There are parts of Thailand right now, places that locals are literally calling no-go zones. Not because of crime, not because of danger, but because Thais themselves aren't allowed inside. We're talking about compounds, 6 of them, run by Israeli groups called Chabad or Shabbat centers. And these places, they're making locals nervous. Because apparently, if you're not Jewish, you don't get in. And people are starting to ask, hold on, how can foreigners operate closed-off compounds in Thailand, places even local police can't freely enter? That question has now blown up so much that Thailand's police and government have publicly warned Israeli tourists to behave, to show respect, follow the law, and stop crossing the line. Yeah, you heard that right. Thailand, one of the most famously tolerant, easygoing countries in the world, is officially telling Israeli tourists, calm down, follow the rules, or we're done being polite. And honestly, this story says a lot more about what's happening across Thailand right now, not just with Israelis, but with all kinds of foreigners who came here for freedom and started pushing it too far. Let me tell you something. Thailand's always been known as the land of smiles, a place where almost anyone can show up, live how they want, and as long as they're respectful, everyone gets along. But recently, that balance, that silent understanding between locals and foreigners, it's breaking down. You can feel it. It's not about race or religion or even nationality. It's about respect. Because over the last few months, there's been a wave of stories about foreigners, Israelis, Russians, Spaniards running illegal businesses, disturbing locals, and acting like the rules don't apply to them. And Thailand, for once, is saying, enough. Here's where things got official. An Israeli security advisor named Avi Bitton flew down to Phuket and met with Thai police. The topic? A growing number of incidents involving Israeli tourists and expats. Fights, loud parties, drug arrests, and shady business operations. The Thai side didn't mince words. They said they're cracking down on illegal activities and on disrespectful behavior. Even the Israeli embassy in Bangkok jumped in. They released a public statement asking Israeli tourists to behave better, to avoid loud parties, dress appropriately, and show respect. Now think about that. When embassies start telling their citizens to be more polite, it means things have gone way off track. And then you have these Chabad/Shabbat centers. To most travelers, Chabad houses are just community centers, a place for Jewish travelers to celebrate holidays, eat kosher food, or meet others. But in Thailand, locals started noticing something strange. 6 major Chabad centers have popped up in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Koh Phangan, and Koh Samui. And people began noticing the same thing. You can't go inside unless you're Jewish. At first, it sounded like a rumor, but locals started testing it. And sure enough, guards, gates, private areas, no entry for Thais or other foreigners. That's when online discussions exploded. People started asking, what are they doing in there? Are these religious centers or something else? Why can't Thai officials inspect them? Now, to be clear, there's no evidence of anything illegal going on, but perception matters. And when a foreign community builds compounds that are closed off to locals, it clashes with Thai values of openness and equality under the law. It's not just curiosity, it's a question of sovereignty. Thais are saying, if we can't open Thai-only centers abroad, why are foreigners allowed to do it here? And that feeling, that sense of imbalance is what's really starting to boil over. You've got to understand something about Thailand. This is one of the most relaxed, tolerant, and forgiving countries on earth. People here don't like confrontation. They don't shout, they don't humiliate others publicly. But when they do finally speak up, it means the situation has gone too far. And that's where we are now. The land of smiles is starting to frown, not because of one group, but because of a pattern. Foreigners building businesses without licenses. Foreigners disrespecting religion. Foreigners treating Thailand like a playground, not a country with laws and values. To be fair, the problem isn't just Israelis. Look at Koh Phangan, the famous full moon party island. Police recently raided a Russian-run motorbike rental business there. They seized over 400 motorbikes, several cars, and found the company was operating without licenses, employing illegal foreign workers, and even holding tourists' passports hostage. Locals were furious, not just at the Russians, but at the Thai nominees who helped them run the business illegally. People started saying what everyone's been thinking. Foreigners keep breaking the rules because they can. Because someone always looks the other way, as long as there's money involved. And if that wasn't enough, on the same island, police raided a Spanish-only hostel. Yep, literally Spanish speakers only. That place had no business license, constant loud parties, and staff who refused to serve anyone who wasn't Spanish. 9 foreigners were arrested, and here's the wild part. Locals had been complaining about it for months, but police only acted after the story went viral online. So people started asking, why do we have to go public, embarrass our own country, before authorities actually enforce the law? That question cuts deep, because Thailand's image, the easygoing paradise, has also made it easy for lawbreakers to hide. When you connect the dots, Israeli compounds, Russian rentals, Spanish hostels, you start to see a pattern. Foreigners come here, find loopholes, and push boundaries. Locals complain quietly, nothing happens. Then a story goes viral. Then police swoop in, do a raid, and everyone claps. Until it happens again. It's like the same movie on repeat, but this time something feels different. There's frustration building. Real frustration. You see it in Thai social media comments, in conversations with locals, even in the tone of government statements. The message is clear now. You're welcome here, but you follow our rules. And here's where it gets interesting, even a bit contradictory. While all this crackdown talk is happening, Thailand's Prime Minister is considering a proposal to extend bar hours nationwide, letting alcohol sales go until 4 a.m. instead of 2. Supporters say it'll boost tourism revenue. Critics say it'll boost drunk driving, health problems, and public chaos. If it passes, the new rule could start in early 2026. So yeah, on one hand, the government says be respectful. On the other, it says party longer, spend more. It's like Thailand's fighting itself, torn between chasing tourist money and trying to keep social order. But one thing's clear, Thai citizens are no longer staying silent. They're questioning everything. Why can foreigners open restricted compounds? Why can they run businesses without Thai ownership? Why do some groups get away with things locals would be fined or jailed for? And honestly, these are valid questions, because Thailand's hospitality has always been its strength, but it's also been exploited. Locals work hard, follow rules, pay taxes, and then they watch foreigners come in and bend the system like it's optional. That's not sustainable. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, not every Israeli, Russian, or Spaniard is part of the problem. Most people just want to live, travel, and relax. Take many of the Israeli tourists. A lot of them come here after military service or to escape the constant stress of conflict back home. They're looking for peace, not trouble. They come to the islands to breathe, to forget war, to feel alive again. And I get that. Thailand is healing. It's gentle. It gives you space to exist without judgment. But when thousands of people all come for freedom and no one draws boundaries, things start to break. And that's what's happening here. If you've lived here long enough, you understand that Thailand runs on one word: respect. Respect for elders. Respect for hierarchy. Respect for religion. You don't always see it written down, but it's everywhere. In the way people speak softly, the way they avoid confrontation, the way they smile even when they're annoyed. That's the foundation of Thai society. So when foreigners show up screaming in the streets, arguing with police, or mocking sacred customs, it's not just bad behavior. It's a cultural slap in the face, and Thais might not say it directly, but they feel it deeply. Let's call it what it is. This crackdown isn't just about parties or disrespect. It's about control. For years, Thailand's relied so heavily on tourism that it started losing control of its own rules. Foreigners opened illegal Airbnbs, tour companies, rental shops, even visa services, all using Thai nominees to get around the law. Everyone knew it was happening. Everyone looked the other way. But now, after years of scandals, social media leaks, and public outrage, the government's realizing it has to draw the line again. It's about reclaiming sovereignty, reminding people that Thailand belongs to Thais. And honestly, that's where my sympathy lies. Not with any nationality, but with that principle. Because loving a country means respecting it. It means understanding that your freedom depends on someone else's tolerance. And that tolerance, as beautiful as it is, has limits. I've seen it firsthand. Tourists shouting at staff, refusing to pay bills, mocking police, walking into temples half-dressed. And these are the same people who say, "Oh, I love Thai culture." But love without respect isn't love. It's entitlement. That's the paradox of Thailand. It's built its entire success on being open. Open to visitors, open to investment, open to every kind of traveler. But that same openness is now being tested because too much freedom brings chaos and too much control kills charm. Thailand's trying to find that balance again between being a global playground and a proud nation with its own identity. And right now, it feels like the scales are finally tilting back toward control. So what happens next? If this government keeps cracking down, if they really start inspecting foreign-run compounds, enforcing business laws, and making everyone play by the same rules, it could change Thailand's tourism landscape completely. Some foreigners will leave, some will adapt, some will complain that Thailand isn't fun anymore. But maybe that's okay, because maybe Thailand doesn't want to be just fun anymore. Maybe it wants to be respected. When I look at this situation, the Israeli warnings, the no-go zone centers, the Russian raids, the Spanish hostile arrests, I see one story. A country that's finally waking up to the cost of being too nice. For decades, Thailand's been the world's escape hatch, a place where the rules back home didn't apply. But now the world's chaos has followed everyone here, and the Thais are saying, "We're not your playground anymore." That's not anger, that's self-respect. And maybe that's the lesson in all this. Because the truth is, Thailand doesn't need perfect tourists. It just needs decent ones. People who can appreciate a culture without trying to dominate it. People who can have fun without breaking things. People who understand that being a guest means acting like one. Freedom without respect always ends in disaster, no matter what country you're in. So yeah, this story started with Israeli tourists being warned, but it's not really about Israelis. It's about everyone who comes to Thailand thinking the rules don't matter. The Chabad centers, the motorbike scams, the party hostels, they're all symptoms of the same disease, entitlement. And now Thailand's immune system is fighting back. Because this country, as open, friendly, and forgiving as it is, still has boundaries. And if we all want to keep enjoying this paradise, we have to start respecting those boundaries. Because the moment we forget that, Thailand won't be the land of smiles anymore. It'll just be another place ruined by people who took too much and gave too little. So if you're planning to come here, to visit, to live, to build something, remember this. Thailand doesn't owe you freedom. It offers it to you. And what you give back, in respect, humility, and awareness, decides whether you get to keep it. Do you think Thailand's being too strict, or finally standing up for itself after years of letting foreigners bend the rules? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.